Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the...
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear. Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navia.
Ah, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk. Sorry about that. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners.
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important... Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
You don't have to twist pylons up.
Oh, wonderful. In the...
All right, then. Let's have...
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while.
Ah, in that case, I'll go order for...
Ooh, everything looks so good.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group...
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
Oh, true. Very...
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food. Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial...
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's...
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be...
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that...
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking!
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's just that it's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times, which is exactly why the Spina di Rosule, those highfalutin folk, are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. See? It's all right. Well, let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her.
I see. So, I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina.
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine.
Well, would you consider some more?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you.
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish what—
Could you suggest something a little more practical?
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed, then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can find—
that might work, but—
Ah, valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just— all right, no more joking around. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusation she had nearly up—
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know—
Huh?
Was this— Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kinda salty and icky.
Is that so? Huh. Well, if we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuck. Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore. Nah, that would be so...
Okay. As for—
Hey, Navia! What are you—
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro—
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome. In any case,
See ya! People around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas
Vache.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again?
Vache?
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kinda hear a voice. Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Vache, are you my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Wait, my memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many— How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land. Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water. And then all— I also remember going to many places. I loved— No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how— But now— we can no longer go back. No! Our reunion no longer has— The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the— Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness. If only I could have comforted him. Told him that I did not suffer. Is that what you call it? It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long. I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think. Farewell, then. I am glad that you were able to sense my...
Wake up! Come on, hurry! Navia's outnumbered!
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand? Quick, now's our chance! I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed—
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking.
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same.
Do not speak of my father!
Sorry, Demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech.
Sorry,
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to—
I doubt I know much more than you. But I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances, your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, and what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with the Maison Guardianat—
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the— I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via—
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful. And
I will continue investigating, no matter what. We will bring the truth. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clorand.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon.
Right. I suppose that's the best news.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere.
I know, she's...
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a fair— As such, we're still partners. There's no—
It will take 50 years for me.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula.
Oh?
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did
Well, to be honest, you're the one—
Huh? Really? Paimon can—
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake. After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said, that the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky. Fanta only comes in sweet flavors. So how could...
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the...
Yes. So if you hadn't...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for...
Huh. Really?
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate. But whoever did this left no That's when I figured out that you might be in danger, and hurried here as quickly as I could.
But why would they go after us, too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his...
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the Primor...
Well, it can't be coincidence that the Traveler fainted just now. She said, oh, and this time Paimon heard it too. But it was real faint. Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to high...
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
New intel? While you were...
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh. Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate. Oh, you mean you'll...
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners. And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let the...
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, we also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely...
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious.
Very good. But
I shall find rooms for our respected...
Thank you, Malus. Now, let...
This is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our...
Seems like it's tough times for everyone.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years...
Your father... He...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me...
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, but strangely, he not only that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the... 3 years later, how could he protect his honor if he's dead? If the closest piece of info I have is that my...
so that's why you're so...
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those, I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now, here I am
Demoiselle, please. If there is any...
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strange...
Wait! If Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be...
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not people love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also...
But how could... never mind. If Callus was...
There is one...
Oh! Her? Well, then... Yeah, that's not the sort of...
Miss Clorand has... She knew Master Callus beforehand, and there was...
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't do...
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us that at the start of the duel... Yes, that is our understanding.
Oh, Papa. All right. Anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Thanks. You two should go and rest.
Yeah.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
Paimon's, huh? Navia?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back, but never mind that. When did you get back?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vache.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
How could I after having such...
Guess...
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It doesn't seem to have a I suspect that those behind this have already taken...
Does that mean we're too late, though?
No. There is one ray of hope. One place, and that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where if the Oceanette you met is one of the young women who went missing recently, we should be able...
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files? In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we?
No. Palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters. Huh. This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Nervalet's files are really secure.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell. If you're here just to crack
No. What I meant to say is...
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh. Is that even...
Of course. Don't worry.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Ah, thanks.
Please come in.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vacher. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment.
Who knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vacher has been in... There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so? All right then.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Nov? Are you trying to console me? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind... It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia...
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all... It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never oh well. In any case, everyone already knows my apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine. Regen.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building?
Now that I think of it,
What is it? Did you think of something?
yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have...
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier? All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this...
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later? Great, let's go then.
Up and away. Whoa! What a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters. My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless...
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home. Melus, we're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court.
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case... You still remember, right, Melus? On that night?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in Poisson. At a glance,
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, if you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. As he oversaw Poisson, my
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield. Not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and for all.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the... Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his informant. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard.
Huh? How did that happen?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, looking back on it though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene. Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, you're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it all out.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth. On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as our opponent is in... Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with...
If that's indeed what he wished for, was I not the closest person to him? What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death? And live out my life just— I've never accepted that. Ever. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable.
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, Demoiselle...
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been... And the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have... But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the... If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately...
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die in silence.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Demoiselle. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer, I'm sure he'd be...
That fool. No. He might have set up everything precisely because... Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am? Yeah. I suppose that's true. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. Huh. Malus, what was the key evidence?
It's the location where synth is produced. When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't shit. But if you want to use it against the enemy...
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just...
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. But a single visit to their headquarters. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open up...
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
Huh. That's true. But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected synth.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative
Thank you for all of that, Malus.
Let me think. One conclusion I came to is that the enemy must be quite familiar. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, if the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, after several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, the first is Florent, Spina de Rus.
Huh?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which also means that he was, thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew there's someone else like him too. Marcel. the head of...
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. The boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around, with a lot of business connections in the city.
So, they're like a...
Yes, you can say that. It's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to...
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the although the guards mostly leave us to our own, since Thierry is always...
I see. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
If you want to investigate them, please...
Of course.
You're too kind, my lady. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean, after that incident, Jacques' wife, and if it might help, you could also...
Oh, thank you so much, Marloose. You really are the best.
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together to uncover the truth.
It is settled, then. Please excuse...
Thank you for arranging everything.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Oh,
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after...
Ah, if it's about that.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand it.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly... I know only the full truth could bring...
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us. I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword, he must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things...
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.